Here's something that we were talking about earlier, where they were reluctant to pursue pitchers that had turned down the qualifying offer because that means they would have to fork over their third highest pick, which would be probably somewhere in the 30s in next year's draft. Tucker, in this fast game of moving chairs in the starting pitching market, where it seems like everybody and their mother is in, does it feel like to you that the Orioles are going to be left standing at the end of this?
Oh yeah, 100%. We are not going to sign anyone of value who is going to help this team. And like with the new ownership, they need to make the decision. Are we going to keep being that team who just relies on the draft for everything because we can't spend the money? Or are we just going to suck it up and go out and get a dude?
I want them to play in the deep end of the pool. And I think maybe they thought that there was a chance for that. My guess is that they were blown away by some of these deals that these guys were getting. Um, and they were tied to Max Fried. We just talked about 8 for 218. They were in on Nathan Eovaldi. He ended up getting 3 for 75. Like, I think that they thought they had like more ability to compete to sign these guys. And then when the numbers started getting tossed out, I think there might have been still some of that old Orioles mindset of like, oh, we can't afford that. That's not good. That's not good for us. So I think they're kind of caught in the middle here where they want to spend big, but I think at their core, I think they're just not. That's just not who they are.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about this before. A thing that could like really kind of clear up what they're doing is if they switch to like that Atlanta Braves model. Lock up Adley, lock up Gunner, lock up Westberg now. So that's like your core. You know those guys are set. Then you know how much money you have left over, how much you're playing with to go out and sign these other dudes.
I've been saying for years they need to start pulling the trigger on some of these early extensions for guys. I think they always run into their Boris client situation, Gunnar Henderson. Adley, I think there's been rumblings of an Adley long term deal. I would love to see that done. Not a Boris guy, but it is weird though. We talk about this, but they're still concerned about forking over the guys with the qualifying offer and giving up the draft picks. And I get it, like a pick in the 30s could turn out to be like a franchise type guy with the way that they draft, but it's crazy that they let that be so much of a deterrent that like guys who had that attached, no chance.
Yeah, and it's sure a guy, with the 30th pick could turn into a generational player, but you got Gunnar Henderson in the second round. Like, so what if you give up that pick? And you see too, like the rumors popping up of like a Tariq Skubal, that trade talk with the Orioles kind of picking back up. Right now, if the Tigers said, give me Jackson Holiday and another prospect for Skubal, it's a done deal, in my opinion. Just do it. You have no clue what Holiday is going to be. You know what you're getting with Skubal.
Here's something I saw also. I've been locked into GM Mike Elias's comments. So Corbin Burns came to Baltimore for a minor league for major league trade for the most part. So Mike said this year that doesn't look likely because teams are less willing to give up major league talent for prospects. He said that our best chance to do that kind of deal would be major league for major league type deal. Um, and also like he said that there's just not that many like guys out there available for trade. I think they're out on Crochet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I read that they were out on Crochet. So I don't know who else could fit the bill of a pitcher that would fill the need.
Yeah, I think it's a lot tougher this year because look at how many how many teams were contenders last year. Like you could have semi decent teams not want to give up top of the line starters in a trade just because they think they could be contenders. And then you look at other teams like who are you going to get from some of these teams? Like if you're looking at a trade with the Rays, the Marlins, like some of the lower tier teams, the Pirates, like who are you going to get in the trade? You know?
It's a supply and demand thing. I was so Nathan Eovaldi. I really wanted him to come to Baltimore. I think that like I don't think he had a qualifying offer attached to him. Did he have a qualifying offer?
I'm not sure, but I don't know his injury history, and I don't think he's ever pitched more than like 150 or 175 innings in a season.
So Eovaldi, no qualifying offer, which is another reason why I thought, okay, if the Orioles are going to go get somebody, it would be him. 3 years, 75 mil back to Texas. You know what I read about that? That is crazy. So Eovaldi is going to be 35. That's just the third time since 2010 a pitcher entering his age 35 season or later has landed a guarantee longer than 2 years. What does that tell you
Really?
about the team like the Texas Rangers, who are so desperate for pitching that they're willing to give a grandfather a third year on a contract just so they're not left standing? It just blows my mind.